My name's Ian Aber, and this is Straight People. We were recording live here in my husband's basement, joined today by Atlanta comedian and just an area good guy, I would say. You're just a generally good guy that I've known for a very long time, Mr. Ben Popkin. How you doing, Ben?
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm good. Is that a weird intro to call you a good guy?
No, it's too accurate.
Like a nice guy?
Yeah.
Good boy, sweet boy. I think a sweet boy is what you would go. Your generation calls yourself.
Been my life pretty much my entire life as being very
And
nice.
I feel like I've known you now, like, so you've been doing stand-up as long as I have, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, like,
6
I've
years.
almost known you 9 years. No,
it's been more than 6 years.
Like, I started in 2011.
Okay, I started technically in 2013.
Okay, so then I saw, it feels like very early along the
As I was still in college back
so 6 years.
when I was like, I popped to a few mics when I was like,
that's crazy.
2012. Yeah,
You're like a child. I thought you were in high school. I met you. Maybe that was Tom Russell.
Yeah, you and every other bouncer thought that I was in high
you
school
are
at the
very
time.
young looking, for sure.
I look super young.
Okay, so I've recorded a few of these today, and I've been very negligent on the topic of straight people. Like Gilbert and I just spent, so Gilbert Lawn was just here, and we just spent 40 minutes talking about doing drugs at Backstreet when it was open. So how do you identify? We're going to start there. We're going to do a traditional straight people.
Oh, wow.
Ben Popkin, on the spot. How do you identify?
I am straight.
You are straight.
I am straight.
You're straight. Okay.
I am a straight man.
Okay, you're a straight man.
Yeah.
You're the first straight person ever in this house.
You have to leave now.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to ask you to go.
Yeah.
You're not. No.
You can stay till the sun goes down.
I think I'm straight. But then again, I feel like spectrum. Who's to say?
Sure. Yeah, I don't believe in it. I mean, people are allowed to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to feel bad about saying you're straight.
Right.
I'm not one of those gays. Not yet, anyway.
Let's see if we can change that. In the next 30 minutes, watch out, everybody. We're going to turn.
If Pete Buttigieg gets
Ian,
fucking, if Elizabeth Warren, then maybe. You can't be straight anymore.
Let this out.
But, no, that's fine. And so what I like to do is Straight People on Straight People, the podcast.
Thank you for giving us
with
something, by the way. We really needed it.
I felt like you didn't have enough. I didn't feel like Straight People had enough, so I was like,
so did we. We were like, where's more of our things?
And what I love most about this podcast is how little it is technically about straight people sometimes.
Right.
But for you, I'd love to ask straight people the question of, when did you know what gay was? Because, like, you're born straight and your parents are straight, and you don't even know that straight is a thing. It's just default, right? And then at some point you figure out that there's gay people or something's up. And sometimes it's like a movie, sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's kids calling each other gay or whatever. So, like, think in terms of that. Like, what's your first memory of realizing that there was more than just the heteronormative facade
that I've been lied to my entire life?
Right?
That's a really interesting question, actually, because, like, the term
It's
gay...
kind of the whole point of the podcast, but go ahead.
Is it really? Well, yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's because gay as, like, a term floated through my life way before I had any concept of, like, what sexuality was or, like, what even sex was.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like one of those things that, like, you heard an older brother say.
Yeah.
And then you were like, it's just something you call people, I guess. That's what it was, like, growing up for, like, a long time. I'm trying to think of, like, when, like, it turned into, like, sexuality. So it had to have been post-puberty.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know what sex was until, like...
Isn't your father, like, what is his...
He's a parenting expert.
He's a parenting expert.
Michael Popkin, everybody.
So
Dr. Michael Popkin, active parenting.
So he managed to hide sex and sexuality from you until you were a teenager and started experiencing sexuality firsthand.
A teenager, I might be shooting the gun a little. I might be moving it along. I'm trying to think of exactly, like... Because I guess, everything was hidden from me, for sure. Yeah, my mom and dad definitely weren't, like...
That's so interesting.
The lenient parents that were, like, watching R-rated movies near me. Like, I was like, I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies until I was 13.
Okay.
Like, I would get in serious trouble if, like, I snuck a PG-13 movie at a friend's house.
What's a sneak? What movie did you sneak and get caught?
There was...
How do you get caught sneaking a movie at someone's house?
I am the worst liar on the planet. I can't... There's no secrets that can reside within my body without them having to be exploded to the person.
Oh my God, did you confess? So you're one of those people?
No, I would
just blurt out the truth.
Yeah, just like I'm just talking about things.
I just saw Gremlins 2, the new batch.
The big thing that, but like, when I was in elementary school, I went to my friend Spencer's house, and he had those parents that were very lenient, and you could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And so we watched Basketball, the movie, and his dad had a Playboy that he knew about, and he brought that, and we like looked at him. We were like, those are boobs.
Yeah, right.
What is happening? and first, I forget how it happened, but I went home, and within 10 minutes of coming home, all of it was out to my mom that I had looked at boobs and watched basketball.
Wow.
I don't know how I did it.
How she got it out of you?
I don't know. I think it's just like...
Were you made to feel guilty about all that kind of stuff?
Not guilty. Guilty is not the right word, but like... I'm in trouble now kind of thing. It's like my parents are very pro-government deciding when I'm ready to learn things. Like whenever like PG-13, that's when you're.
Some people just like to follow the rules. They don't even care who made them up.
That's true, and that's me too. They really instilled follow the rules.
Yeah, you follow the rules.
I love rules.
Yeah,
yeah.
If there's a line to get in, if there's a list to sign up on.
Mm-hmm. Let's make sure. I'm a big fan of justice, so let's not. No, yeah, especially for the open mics in Atlanta when people start trying to jump the line.
Open like justice. Really? You want to talk about that?
This isn't justice.
You need to name names. Who is jumping the... I'm joking.
Everyone who jumps the line isn't around comedy for too long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That gets frowned upon?
Yeah. Unless you have like a reason to jump the line. Like if you just got here and you have another show you have to run to. Like,
yeah. Well, that's something you arrange with the host anyway.
Text the host.
Yeah.
Don't...
Yeah. You don't jump the line
announce to 20... I have somewhere else to
be. Who did that?
Sorry, I'm booked on something. Can I just...
Really? Wow.
It's just something that happens. Like, yeah, it just happens.
That's pretty brutal. Open mics, I've never seen anybody do that. If they did that in front of me, I'd be like, we all have somewhere to be. Back of the line, buddy. You know what I mean?
Thank you for your time here at the open mic. How much do you need this 3 minutes that bad?
That's pretty funny. Well, but, you know, what I've noticed in just the length of time that I've been doing it is that, you know, the more rules there are around it, the more it's sort of like it's that way to either keep people out or to make the person who makes all the rules feel good about themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes the rules are like set up, like, so, you know, Rodney can only put up so many people on Monday nights at Star Bar. So the rule is that you have to call in between 5 and 5:01 on Thursdays.
5 and 5.
And so that's a scarcity
2
thing.
seconds.
So, but yeah, or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You get basically 60 seconds to call him.
Yeah.
And it's always busy, constantly. But I never get through.
Yeah.
But he has it set up that way so that not everybody can do the show, because it's like because otherwise everybody wants to do it. And he every week I watch him. People come up to him who don't know him, and they're like, "Man, come on, you know, like give me a." And he has to constantly, you know what I mean? I've never had that. I've never had at every show I do 2 or 3 people come up to me and tell me that they need to be able to get on the show. Could you imagine that pressure? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be pestering, especially because Star Bar is now such everyone kind of knows about Star Bar if you're passing through Atlanta. Like, so
if you're in the Southeast, you know what Star Bar is.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a great room, and it's like it's a Monday night, and like you finding a show like that on a Monday night anywhere is impossible. And so he just probably has to like.
Well, I don't know. We had like between it and Sweetwater. There's a Sweetwater, that bi-weekly show. That's at Sweetwater. Joe Pettis that runs. That has amazing audiences. Amazing audiences. It's like we're a little spoiled on Mondays here in Atlanta. I think
we are. We're a little spoiled on shows in Atlanta. Because
even the mics at the Skull have been really great. What I keep hearing.
Yeah. No. Skull's also got it down to a science where they're the first to pop up on Google, and everyone's first time is at the Skull, and they bring all of their friends, and they all go last.
And it's so weird because it used to, you know, when I started, that's how the punchline was. Everybody wanted to be on the punchline.
Yeah.
And now that is not the case. It's like people want to do the punchline, but no one's like they don't make it very easy.
Right.
Like their mic's at 9:30 on a
Sunday, which is I'd say worse than Monday. I'm gonna go.
It's a little rough for sure, but it also like, you know, that it's a contest, so it's like sometimes the audience won't be there for you just because they're there for their friend. So it's like, you know, as a mic, it sometimes doesn't function the way I need it to. If I'm trying to work out a new joke, I'm not there to impress, you know, whoever's friends. Right. But you can still laugh if the joke's funny. You know what I mean?
And at the same
sometimes I've had issues there with that room. But also, most of the time when I go there, I don't do material. I just tease the room.
Really? I always get too, I'm like, I get in there and then I'm like, oh, it's a contest. And then I get competitive and I'm like, I need to
there's
win.
That too. But I just don't worry about that part of it.
I know. You're more zen than I am, clearly. Because like, I'm like, oh, I got it. Who's here? And I'm starting.
I think I've won it once and it was great. It was nice $50 or whatever. But it didn't do anything for me. It's not like I got booked more.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know.
So it was nice, but it was like
I won it.
I actually did it. The last time I did the show, I had just gone to watch because I had just done the basement theater.
Right.
And she needed a closer. I think Catherine Blanford was hosting. They needed a closer. And the show had been so weird and everybody had done so like all over the place that I just did crowd work. My whole set was crowd, and the person who went before me did tons of crowd work, and I just felt like that if I went out and tried to tell a joke, they would have just been like whatever, because they were waiting for the scores to be tallied. So I just went out there and was like, "What do you like? If you win, what are you going to do with the money?" But
was the entire crowd comedians?
And it was like watching? There was one comic who it was clear that she was going to win, and then I basically went down the line of all of her friends. I was like, "Does she owe you any money?"
Was she an Atlanta comic?
She's about to have $50. I don't remember.
Oh, was she? Somebody brought a lot of friends.
So I went through her friends and was like, "Does she owe you $50? She's about to have $50. She can sign it over to you."
Well, they all paid $15 to get in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think I lied and was like, "I'm a notary. I can totally transfer that check."
You just pull out like a stamp you got when you were a kid. And you just think it's a little apple.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty weird one. So of all the shows that you've done in Atlanta, like, what's your favorite show that's not around anymore?
Oh, that's not around anymore. Ooh, I'm trying to think of the ones that like just vanish for no reason. Because like a lot of the shows that were good, like they're still around. Relapse. We can talk about Relapse. Just
Relapse
that
closing
theater
suddenly.
eviscerating. Out of nowhere. Do you think like the landlord just pulled it from him, or do you think something happened?
Oh no,
Let's gossip about Relapse.
I'd heard from a friend of mine who's in real estate that they have like they have an alert set up on certain addresses in Atlanta, and Relapse is one of those addresses, and he knows that it's a theater, and he knows that I did shows there. Yeah. So I remember hearing something about, he goes, something changed on it, and I really can't tell. So he couldn't tell whether the ownership changed, or the property management company, or the name of the person running the whatever, but something changed.
Right.
And then almost a day later, I heard from somebody that it was closing. So I never even really got to follow up with my friend about what the detail was that he had. He just was like, something's up with that property. I'll let you know what I find out. And then by the time he got back to me, I was like, yeah, they're closing. He was like, oh.
That makes sense, because that was a great location for so long, too.
What it's going to be. Well, yeah, it's a great location. It's just a shame because it's like, the theater itself was just such a small portion of a very big building that most of that building was not really salvageable, or would have been like, to fix it would have been an insane amount of money.
Yeah, no one was using it either. Yeah. Like, I don't know what you'd even put. Would you just turn it into like?
Did you do a lot there the first time around, or had it closed by the time you started?
No, so it was the first place I ever did stand up.
Yeah,
was a Relapse, like back when who used to run that open mic?
Laura Lewis.
Before then.
Really? Before Laura? Who?
This was the first time I ever did stand up, I was 18.
Okay.
At Relapse.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I was in high school, my sister and her boyfriend took me to just like go do it, and so like I did a set, and I didn't do it again for like years.
Wow.
But it was.
Was it Thursday night still? Was it?
It was a Thursday night.
How weird.
It was crazy, and it was one of those just like.
Well, I did that. I had that experience. When I first started, I did the mic there a lot, and Payne would come with me, and there was a night where I went last, and Laura Lewis introduced me. Then she went out to smoke a cigarette, and I did my set to Payne. And on the way home, he was like, we could have just done that in the living room.
We don't need this.
But when I was doing that, I did that final show at Red Clay when they closed Relapse. I was on the final show.
The best show ever, you mean?
I mean.
Arguably the best show to ever be produced.
But I looked out at the audience and I saw Payne, and I remember it just being he and I in the room. And I was like, how full circle everything has come in terms of at least like where I am in comedy versus where I was when I started.
That's how the end of the documentary should happen.
Yeah, something like that. And it was sad because like I did a lot of shows.
Yeah. You ran like Sweet Baby Cheeses there.
Yeah, and Surrogates for a while. Yeah. And Backstory. We did Backstory weekly for like 2.5 years.
Backstory was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I missed Backstory. When they killed Backstory, I was like, it changed my relationship with the club.
Really?
Like because we were there every week.
Right.
And Joe was, and whoever else was so adamant about starting the mic earlier, and it just finally was like, we used to stop fighting it because it was like, what's the point?
Right. Did you think about putting it later after the mic? Or?
Yeah, I just never thought it was going to work. So I liked it better when they were just doing their one-off shows, and that show served its purpose. Like I was doing that show because they had it previously. So the way the mic was set up before, it started at 9:30, and they had an 8 o'clock show, and it was Noah Garden Schwartz, and then after him, Shalewa, doing, they call it story time.
Right.
Same show, though, same vibe.
Yeah,
and the whole point was like to give comics a place to do long form.
Just to like tell
stories,
longer
like
stories.
Like a 10-story, a 5-minute story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Lace. Like, I met Lace and Andrew Wright there, and Andrew was like the third person that he was always the fill-in host.
Really?
So we all met. You know, like I basically the first time I ever laid eyes or heard Lace Larrabee do a set was watching her do Backstory, and vice versa.
That's
and
crazy.
same as Andrew Wright. You know, and it's like
Right.
because I was somewhere he would go all the time too. So we were like, there was like a core group of people that supported that show, and it was the same way with Backstory. It was like the same. You know, I mean. If I had Olive on once, I had her on 20 times. She even hosted it a bunch.
Right. Yeah.
Ed Denzel.
Ed, oh, I miss Ed. I don't know. Ed's been doing like creative work on his own, but anytime Ed shows up somewhere, it's like always a great
absolutely.
day.
I think he's hilarious. But also, it's like, I get why he, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he stops doing it, I sort of get it. Because it's like, when it kills, it's amazing. And when it doesn't kill, it's like, you know, why? You know, if you don't do it all the time, and you don't have a good set, it's more.
It hurts a lot more. You're not just coming off
because you're not going to bounce back tomorrow having another set. And I think that's something that happens quite a bit. Is that people who fade out of it, it's because they don't get the consistent good feeling from stand-up. And if you're not getting a good feeling from stand-up, I'm always like, why are you doing it? You know, like, if you don't get off on writing jokes, like, that's my big thing. It's like, the act of the next joke or writing the new tag is the fundamental thing that I love the most. The next thing is the laughter from the audience.
Right.
So it's like, as long as I can write a joke, I'm going to be okay, even if I can't perform every day, you know? And for the most part, I can perform every day.
So it's writing first, then audience feelings, then the good feels.
I think like when I have a new joke, like when I write a joke in the car and then can do it on stage, that's way more powerful.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I just did a festival recently where I had an amazing set in front of a big, huge audience, and that was pretty fun, but I had way more fun at the mic that I did where I riffed a big, long bit about whatever.
Right.
I came up with something on the fly, and that was way more fun, and now is in my act, and is now a new 3-minute or 4-minute bit. And it's like those times, sometimes it's like that's what's the most
That's
fun.
crazy. That's when you're doing comedy the way normal people think comedy is done, I feel like. I'm just up there. I'm just riffing, right? That's what you do. That's what comedians are. They're just great.
But like in the sense that it's controlled. It's all inside of...
Right.
Yeah, so I'm riffing inside of a set that I've kind of set up.
Oh, no, at any moment you can stop riffing and then go to material,
Absolutely.
But for that good, like, minute, 2 minutes when you're just commenting on the room.
So I just did a weekend at the Comedy Closet in Columbia.
Oh, how was that?
And it was sort of like that. It was like the first night was very low turnout, so it's like no pressure. So I didn't really do jokes because it's like when there's 8 or 9 people in the room, it feels weird to just do rehearsed material.
Yeah.
So I did a little mix of new stuff and crowd work and working in jokes, and it was like it went by, an hour went by very quickly, as opposed to me being like, let me be really wooden and perform all my best material for these 8 people or whatever. And then the next night there was like 60 or 70 people, and I did it a little bit more structured, but I still kind of like kept the middle way looser than... It's like I'm finally becoming comfortable not following a set list, and just that I trust that I'll tell the right jokes and I won't tell the same joke twice.
Right.
Which is the thing I'm the most nervous about.
That's really... No, I'm always afraid, like, when I start doing that, like... I was at Hideaway on Monday, just like at the mic again.
Yeah.
And I started doing that more than I usually do because I'm very structured. I'm very like, these are my jokes, please enjoy them.
Do you go there every week? I saw you there the week
I go there a
before.
lot because it's like a good Monday. Like if I can't get on Star Bar, there's not really another choice, and so it's just. And it's also can be a really fun room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is a very kind of like loose room, and like I know Greg pretty well, so he's not gonna like not have me back if I do poorly.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's also Hideaway. I don't think anyone's ever gonna get booted.
They never expected. When I did a show there, it was like that was the point. It was new material, new comics, working it out,
right?
And some of it's gonna suck, and sort of that's what's the entertaining part. Is what's good and what's bad, but they're okay to watch that. Yeah. And it's not like it's a big audience, but it's like still an audience. So it's like there's a little core group of regulars, it seems like, because I've only been to it twice since it restarted, and both times it's like I knew every person at that bar.
Yes. No, you will know almost everybody that comes through.
Good. I think that's good.
It is good to a point, but then you're just like, which it keeps you writing for sure. It keeps you from doing oldish jokes.
So you've been doing more like festivals and kind of getting out of Atlanta. And how's that been for you?
It's been going very well. It's baby steps. I'm trying like constantly to try and like push my name out a little bit more, meeting more people at festivals, which is nice because like you have people in other cities that you're going to go to that can vouch for you. Yeah.
Well, Atlanta, like that's the thing. It's like Atlanta's known for being great, but then they may only know a few people's names.
Right.
And so if your name can be one of those people, then it's like, well, then you're part of that great scene in Atlanta.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, for sure. That is a good thing.
Difference.
When I was in Cleveland this past weekend, like that was one thing that was really nice is like I told people I was from Atlanta. I was the only Atlanta comedian there, and they were like, "Oh, Atlanta, that's awesome. Atlanta's a great scene,
absolutely.
right?" And I was like, "Okay, I don't have to try and sell anything. It's already been sold. I just need to not."
Well, it's
ruin
nice sometimes to be the only Atlanta person at something.
Yeah.
I've been the only Atlanta person a couple times.
It was fun. I enjoyed getting out of like the group. If there was another Atlanta person there, I probably would have hung out with that person.
Oh, of course, you end up doing that, and if there is one, like High Plains, I hung out more with David at David Perdue at High Plains than I do when I see him in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Right. And Mia was there, and it was sort of the same thing, is that we just sort of gravitate towards each other.
Yeah,
because we all know each other, and it's
right,
catching up or whatever. But
yeah, and especially with like David and Mia, who are like not around. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean they're around a little bit, but like they're all
like David, I talk to in text a lot, but not in person. I don't see him as much
David
as
is a good texter.
Absolutely.
Me and David, anytime Bastille comes on, that song Bastille, we text each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
how funny.
It used to be a lot, but it has since gone downhill since Bastille has turned off the road.
They've waned their.
They haven't gotten the rotation they deserve.
Yeah, they deserve.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a great song. You close your eyes, you can almost feel.
So what do you think your long term? So like you've been doing stand up for what, 6 years now?
6 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's your goal this year? What's your big?
This feels like a conversation with my mom right now. A little bit. Yes, but it's yes. I'm trying to get more festivals. Like that's kind of where I am right now. If I can get accepted into a few festivals, maybe get like someone to be like, hey, you're good, or like get enough connections, places that I can start going on the road a little bit more. That's good. Yeah. We are getting to the point where there's 6 years. It's time to start hitting the road a little bit more and getting some more like work out of it. Instead of I've just been focusing on writing and performing in Atlanta forever. Yeah. But yes, trying to. I don't want to say it out loud because it won't happen if I say it out loud.
Is that how you were raised?
Huh?
If you say your dream, it won't happen.
I don't know. A little bit. No, it's like a mixture.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I don't want to.
It's just like a weird. Like there's there's one thing I really want.
Don't say it.
And I haven't got it yet. And but hopefully, it'll happen soon enough. Yes.
Okay. I just guessed what it was, and we won't mention it. But you know what? That's the thing. You have to have something to aspire for. And I think like you're somebody who will send me your submission tapes from time to time for festivals, and I think you're on the right track in terms of like what you should do and what you know what I'm saying? It's you have to show that you're up in your game. So like if you're applying every year and not getting in, then you have to not only so it's like if they've seen you once before, then you sort of have to break out of whatever it is that they think you are.
Right.
So the tape doesn't necessarily have to just be good, but it almost has to be like, convince me who Ben Popkin is. Yes. Because I have this in my head about Ben Popkin.
Right. Well, this might be a good time to announce my ventriloquism act that is going on the. You thought you knew me.
You were a guitar comic when I met you.
No, I had a song. I had a song. There's a picture on Facebook and I will stand by that song until the day I die.
I didn't do a birthday post for you, and I found something that there was some video of you that was, and I've never shared it again.
Oh,
it was so
yes,
bad.
It's so bad. That's my embarrassing tattoo. Is my friend in high school?
It was something
made a compilation video of just model shots of me.
Yeah, it
in
was
his backyard.
Pretty funny.
It's so bad, but it's come up so much that like I'm numb to it now.
Yeah.
Like it's But
well, they do those birthday posts in the Atlanta Comedy Group, and I wrote yours one year, and I just Googled your name, and that was the first thing that came up, and I was like, Jesus.
And he lost his password to the account. I've asked him to take it down so much, and he's just like, I can't do it, and I can't get it off. Like, YouTube does not care about me or my feelings. They're just like, there's not even like a report button on YouTube. Like, try and report something to YouTube.
And it doesn't have music, does it? Or does it have music and it's not? It does. But it's not. It's not anybody's song, so it's not like you can report it.
It is somebody's song.
Is it?
It is. That's copyright infringement.
That's how you get it.
Okay.
Who's the band?
I don't know the band's name.
All you got to do is get the band's attention on Twitter.
King of Comedy.
Yeah.
Which is just more painful than it is. Nobody can Google me on YouTube.
If you get the band to complain, then they'll get rid of it. But of course, you could just turn it into a viral thing.
They could get mad at someone playing their song on the radio in public too. Like, no one's looking at this.
Yeah, right.
No one's Googling it.
That's so funny. Well, that shit gets reported sometimes. Like I did a video where I used Mamas and the Papas song, and it was like in seconds.
Yeah.
They had it. And I was like, God, it's like kind of crazy.
I'm gonna report it again because it's been a while since I've tried it, and I think they've really tightened up their copyright law stuff on YouTube. So maybe this might be the day that I go to that laser removal and get it taken away from me. I don't have any tattoos. I just have that
wow
shows up.
That's funny. And how many years ago was that?
This was 2017.
So it's been there.
Oh, 2007, not 17.
Okay, wow.
17 would have been 2 years ago.
2 years ago. How embarrassing. 2 years ago.
Oh my God, look at me. I'm so silly. I look so young. Wow.
Oh my God.
So youthful.
Wait, so were you trying to be a model? Were you trying to perp them? Were you trying to, like, you're going to have that career?
No, not trying. I wasn't trying to be a model. It was just like me and my friend, and he was like, we're going to make like an intro video. Because I did stand up at my talent shows when I was in like high school.
Okay.
And he was like, we're going to make an intro video for me, which didn't end up playing, thank God. Because I don't know what I was, I don't know what I thought.
When you get your special one day, you can play that as your intro video.
Honestly, not a bad idea, because it's pretty rough.
That's funny.
Yes, it is. It's one of, I went through these like phases where it was just like weird.
Yeah.
Just like, I didn't really know what to do. So it was just like, I'll friggin' wear a Cookie Monster hat forever. If I just wore a Cookie Monster.
You haven't been in that phase since I've known you. I don't know of any of your... You keep it pretty...
I'm pretty buttoned up.
Yeah, but I did
just impulse buy a suede jumpsuit.
Did you?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that on stage.
I know. That's the thing.
Is it long?
Yeah.
It's not shorts.
Nope. It's full.
Shorts aren't your friend.
No. Oh my! You and Brian have ruined shorts for me.
I'm just kidding.
You and Brian at the wiffle ball game.
Oh God, I was wondering.
That was the last time I wore shorts.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. That ruined me. I was like, I left there and I was like staring at my legs. I was like, this is just the worst thing that could ever happen.
No, don't let us ruin shorts for you. You live in Georgia. You have to wear shorts.
No, I don't.
You never wore shorts again? What did we say specifically? Do you remember?
All I remember.
So we were at a wiffle ball game and Brian Iman and myself were doing color commentary, which was just us roasting everybody within sideline with a megaphone. What was your...
I can't like... I think
because I think all I said was something like, "Look at Ben Popkin in those shorts."
Yeah,
or
something like that. And then I remember Brian very specifically just going, "Look at those knobby ass knees."
Brian doesn't have a lot of room to talk. Okay,
that is true. Brian is as emaciated as I am.
I've never seen his legs.
That's the thing, is he wears pants.
Yeah.
See, we just wear pants now.
Wow, I can't believe that. That's really funny.
Yeah,
you've literally never worn shorts. That's a lie. You can't.
I have. If it was 120 degrees,
not to any comedy functions.
Oh God, no. And also, just not in real life either. Like, I stay away from shorts if I can help it.
Yeah.
If I'm hiking.
It's hard to look like an adult wearing shorts, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you can't do anything respectable in shorts. You can't be like, hello, I'm here to litigate this case in a tuxedo or in a suit top and just khaki shorts.
So the comics wear shorts on stage, and I always hate it. I never say anything.
That's crazy. Because that was like when I Googled how to do comedy when you're like a teenager, and it's just like, don't wear shorts. And I'm just like, well, looks like you can't ever wear shorts.
Well, I mean, every time I see someone wearing shorts, I'm like, that's distracting.
Yeah.
I guess women can get away with it. Women can get away with it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, women can wear it,
and boys can too. I mean, I think I saw recently somebody wearing like romper with shorts, Akeem Woods or somebody was wearing something like that. And sure, you can wear whatever you want.
I feel like guys could not wear pants if it's a romper.
Yeah,
that seems like more of a costume choice than it does.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I think of sometimes is that some of the outfits that people wear, it's costume.
Yes,
and
but if you're wearing a romper,
if you're wearing a shorts romper. Well, anyways, you got pants. You got a suede romper with pants.
Yes,
sounds very classy.
That'll tuck into my socks if I need to. Yeah, it's very chic. It's gonna be the fashion.
Wow, I can't wait to see that. That's hilarious.
Me too, because I ended up paying more than I thought I was going to for it because I got so excited for it. Yeah, I was just like, I clicked on it.
Well, I don't think suede pantsuits come cheap, or rompers, or zip denim jumpsuits, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, that's where we differ. I thought they did. I thought it was gonna be super cheap. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like a footy pajamas or something.
Well, I don't know where you're gonna wear it in Georgia. You can't let it get wet. Don't let it get wet.
No. Yes.
Suede, you gotta keep it dry.
Yes, I'm learning because there was a how to clean this garment when I bought it,
and don't.
Yeah, and they were like, use a toothbrush that's dry, and I was like, what?
You can send them to the cleaners, though, but I think they're expensive.
That is what I'm gonna have to do.
That's so funny.
$4. Which.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place for us to kind of come to an end. Oh. So catch Ben Popkin somewhere in his suede jumpsuit. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's going to
be my new thing.
So I will end with I do like a question I like to ask is, and I didn't ask the last two people, was if straight people exist, which I sometimes question. I mean, you're straight, but like
we've all been lying
like capital S straight, like whatever. Okay, so like, what do straight people eat? Like, what's a straight meal?
If
you're a straight person, not a straight male. I know what a straight male is, but a straight meal. Like, what's a straight food?
Straight food, I think
I just want to tell the audience I've been waving my hands around like a fucking, I don't even know what. I got flamboyant hand gesture syndrome like crazy. Okay.
Yep, do the bit. A straight meal is baked chicken and mashed potatoes.
Okay.
No greens.
No greens.
No greens.
No greens, no gravy.
Just
all right.
Plain. Little salt. Toss it in there. That just feels like a straight meal to me.
Yeah. Do you know how to cook that?
Yeah, I know how to cook that. I'm good at cooking, though.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you a good cook?
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
My go-to, salmon and asparagus.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. How do you cook the salmon?
Salmon, pan fry it. You cut the back up, put some seasoning all over it.
Look at that.
Drop it in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you oil your pan? What do you put? What kind of oil?
I put extra virgin olive oil in to start, and then we drop in a big old pat of butter and start basting.
Look at that. We. Mm-hmm. Who's we?
Me and my sous chefs that I bring in.
It's like you're like, I cook and then immediately shift to we. I'm
we?
Like,
well,
who lets you help? Who lets you help cook? Who lets you watch in the kitchen when they're cooking?
Girlfriend.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, that's good though. But you know how to cook. That's a good thing. That's
it is
better than most men.
Yes.
Payne, I'm lucky because Payne's like grew up in restaurants. Like his parents own restaurants and shit.
Oh, he must be
so Payne knows how to cook, but he also knows how to cook for like 40 people. So like Thanksgiving, I don't even touch it. Like at Thanksgiving, I'm responsible for the mashed potatoes. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I got to worry about. And really, all I'm in charge of is peeling them. So
even that seems a little scary to me. Yeah.
He's got everything else covered. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Having somebody cook for you, it's the best.
Yes.
All right, so baked chicken and mashed potatoes, straight people meal.
Straight people.
Have it for this year at Straight Christmas, which is Christmas.
Oh, is this a meal to serve straight people,
Well, I think it's
or
what
a meal that straight people would make?
Yeah, that they'd make and eat.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to serve straight people a meal, it would be a skinless, boneless chicken breast with some kind of teriyaki glaze, because straight people love teriyaki, and then a mixed veg because they like all of the races and sexes to be separate, but they like their vegetables to be together.
Do not stuff that chicken with those vegetables.
And I might serve a salad too, a veg and salad, just to be like a dick straight person.
Like double time.
Yeah, and then I'll have an island of dressings, so they can have whatever dressing they want. I'll just take everything out of the fridge and put it on the table, and they can pick.
Which dressing would they pick more?
It's all Wishbone brand.
Which one would you put like 4 or 5 dressings?
I would say that they're gonna pick buttermilk ranch. So if they're always gonna pick buttermilk ranch.
I concur.
But we got creamy Italian and Italian. We got French and Catalina, all that shit. But it's really important that it's not just that you always pick ranch. That we have all of the dressings and we get them out every time we make dinner.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I grew up. That's how straight people.
Really?
Like we had an array of dressings. Like look at all the dressings we had. Like I thought we were rich. But we were just rich in dressings. That's all we were.
We have a bounty of dressing.
Yeah, exactly.
We invested all of our 401k into dressing.
Exactly.
That is the thing. Because when I grew up, I hated dressing. I was everything had to be plain and
really.
Separate. Yeah.
Salad, like a plain salad.
I didn't like salad at all.
Oh,
I would eat
of course.
broccoli. That was like the one vegetable that my parents gave me to eat.
Yeah.
And then I would eat rice and I would eat baked chicken.
Okay.
And that's like what my mom made for me every night. Because I was so picky. I wouldn't eat anything.
Did they make something different for everybody else?
They had like their rotations, and like it wasn't like they were catering. They weren't catering to me every night.
It was very much of like you can eat this or you can starve at my house.
Yeah. Once a week we would have chicken and rice. That was like my favorite thing to eat. And then they would like do weird stuff, and I'd like pick around it, and I just wouldn't eat as a kid. And they'd be like, "You're gonna be hungry," and I'd be like, "No, I'll be fine.
I'll be fine."
Yeah, and I was fine.
I'll just have chicken and rice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of black people who listen to this podcast say that's just white people food, but I'm still working on it. We're still figuring out. One day we'll figure out the quintessential straight dish. Because like plain food is pretty white.
You can serve it at the White House.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like that's a good place to stop. This has been Straight People. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at the Laughing Skull once a month with You Look Like.
I thought that was
you
a
look
knock.
like no, that wasn't a knock on
I
you.
thought that was a
booking
knock on
me.
me for not booking you enough. Fuck you.
You could find me at the Laughing Skull. Not enough, Ian. Yeah, that's the one show I produced.
You and everyone else. But,
No, I'm special. I am special in the community. No, yes.
no,
this
just
is the one-
everyone feels like I don't book them enough, and I'm like, I can't book everybody, but whatever. Anyways,
No. This is how a kangaroo court.
You know what?
for-
I could book everybody, but I don't. Okay, that's just how it is.
Yeah, you should. Next time someone says that, you
I'm gonna
should be like,
cut it all
"You're just not that good." Honestly, I just don't like your comedy.
No, I want to live. I don't want it to be murdered in my house. People know where I live now. I can't.
That is true. I've been here. I've seen it. You have artwork. You're doing quite well.
This is the room that we put all the artwork of the, like, this is all the stuff that we don't like. Well, except for that picture right there.
You don't like that?
Well, no, that's okay. This is the art that doesn't fit, I guess, in the rest of the house, I suppose. But anyways, we keep trying.
Yes.
trying to-
Sorry. This is my
No,
trick
this
to
is
get
good.
more
This
time
is
out of
good.
it.
Yeah,
You
no,
keep
right.
ending, and I'm like,
All
oh,
right.
but
Do you
what
want
about
to
this?
do you want to go over your avails real quick? I'm just.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the first and third weekends of the month.
Yeah. So you look like every
you
first
look
Saturday.
like,
Is it- or no, it's third
It's
Saturday.
every like third Saturday. We
Yeah,
change it
pretty much
sometimes
third Saturday.
based on if I'm
But it's
out of
a roast
town.
show.
It is a roast
Super
show.
fun, based off of the one out of Memphis.
Correct.
So you are a licensed.
Yes, I'm not stealing anything.
Okay,
they
good.
get a brief royalty for each
Good.
show.
They do. That's great. That's awesome. Well, okay, and then and then what's your Instagram, or give me one of them.
At Ben Popkin is my Twitter, and I think my Instagram is BenPop318, which I need to figure out how to
Okay.
sync them up. But yeah, those are my two things. Yeah, catch me on those things.
All right, catch Benny Pops all over the place in his suede jumpsuit.
It's gonna happen.
My name's Ian Aber, and this has been Straight People. Thank you.
Thank you.